Books and comics, Reservoir Marvel Warriors, Battlestar Star Trek Voyages, endless space nerds in power we embrace. Galactic conquests, reign and rule, cosmic overlords, science cruel, knowledge weapons, mighty force, ride the lightning cosmic course. Dice roll fate, dungeons deep, epic quests where warriors creep, schematics drawn. We build, nerds dominion, never stilled. Galactic conquest.
Say what you want about the longevity of that. That gets me pumping, so I can, how did Bill Hicks put it? Plaster on a fake smile and plow through this shit one more time.
Well, I like it just because it gives me time to get on and share over, for the live feed. But today's one of those days that just dragging a little bit.
Like I said, both Jessica and I had to take PTO days because we are under the weather, and she's got it coming out one end, I got it coming out the other. It is not a good time.
Yeah, so you guys are getting chicken noodle soup version today because today I've spent most of the day with Cookie. Well, not most of the day. I spent part of the day with Cookie, and then I've been working on Anime Fest all day because we got Anime Fest coming up in 2 months, and there's so much work to do, and it melts my fucking brain.
Oh, that reminds me. Who do I need to chitty chat with Anime Fest to make sure that we can get a table for the Trekkies?
I already got it set up. If Christy's the one that takes care of, I take care of cosplayers. Christy takes care of the tables. So,
okay.
We're just right now doing the layouts because we got to have another meeting with the Hyatt because with the hotel that big, unfortunately, every time we go in there, they're like, oh, we had to take these 2 rooms away, but you get these 2, or we had to take these 3 away, but you get this 1. And then, so it's real hard to know where everybody's going to go until about a month before. I wish it wasn't that way.
And that's the thing that gets me. You've been with them for so long and have given them so much money on a consistent basis. You would think that you guys would be the priority.
We've been at this location, I think, for about 16 years. Problems we've had is one is new ownership. About 6 years ago or so, 7 years ago, Phil Ruffin came in and bought the Hyatt here locally. And Hyatts are a franchise, so they're or different owners in different states, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So he has his own policies, and he owns property in Vegas and other things. So he runs stuff a little bit more like that. So a convention, even though we're probably the largest convention that happens there, they do a lot of corporate events that are bigger than ours.
Oh, yeah.
And more importantly, they do weddings that are bigger. And weddings is the thing that kills. Like anybody who runs a convention that watches this, something will know. Well, wedding can come in to the same venue space, and then suddenly they're going to start pushing you to the side or the corner or something like that, unless the wedding can incorporate with your event. But
well, trust me, the wedding industry, that is how they, everybody makes their money. As soon as it said wedding, I mean, anything along those lines, like anymore, the cost of a tux rental is like getting up there for what the women pay for dresses, for like proms and stuff like that. Jessica recently took Becca's girl, Jaden, out prom dress shopping, and her boyfriend came along and was also looking for tuxedos. The tuxedo prices were so outlandish that, they eventually went over to the menswear store in the mall, and that was so outlandish that because my wife is the consummate shopper, and she knew, she was like, hold on, I've seen this suit before at Target. So she took the kid over to Target, and it was the same exact suit, just a different colored tag on the label. That was it. Same exact suit. She got it for like a third as much. He came out of there with a complete brand new tux suit. I mean, suit that he could wear to prom for less than $100.
I've seen that a lot at Ren fairs lately too, where everything is a third party seller. So they'll come in like the boots I just bought last festival. Those same boots are at 40 different booth spaces when we go out to festivals over the years, and they're different prices. Everyone, same fucking boots. They might put their own little stamp on the inside, but it, you know, 250 here, 450 at the next fair. You know, it just drives me nuts.
Well, it's like the story we always tell about how my first Ren Fair boots that we got from Ray. And Ray used to work as a DJ at one of the local strip clubs. I forget.
Jezebel.
Yeah, Jezebel.
Yeah.
Which
worked at a couple, but that was the one.
Is it?
Huh?
Is that still in business?
It's no longer in business. It's I think they put a restaurant in there, which seems a little weird when you drive by. Because we used to go in there and we do the heavy pork shoots and things.
Yeah.
So, you know, all the debaucherous shit in there. And then and now it's a restaurant, and like families are going in there to eat and shit. It just it seems weird. Like I don't.
Hopefully they power washed it first. Hopefully it was power washed. No, but anyway, so I got my first set of boots from Ray, and so they were like knee high, you know, stripper boots, basically what they were, because you know after I got them from him, and it was a good price for them. I think he charged me like $75 for them. They were used, and we were looking inside. Hey, Kelly. We were looking inside and noticed that from the label that it was stripper boots. It was not. But then we did the mental math and realized, there's no female strippers with a size 12 men's foot.
Oh, so there's a fetish crowd that has created female strippers with the size.
Yeah. Basically, that's what I got. Yeah, and a little bit of bleach, good to go.
See, I had the same sort of thing once where we went to Missouri for a fair, and I'd left my boots at home in Kansas. So I got there, and I had to wear female boots all weekend long. I was practically walking on my tippy toes because I had no.
Yeah, you didn't have a size 12 female boot.
No. I had like a size 8 female boot, which is like a size 5 men or something. Yeah,
you had to drop it by 2.
Yeah, and I wear like a 10.5, so it was not.
Yeah. Good. But what was the whole point of this?
Shit, I can't remember. Oh, it was buying stuff, texting those weddings. We had to
the venue. The venue. That
was a big fall. Okay.
We went far.
I could easily just sit here and talk about the woes of running a festival for the next hour because I'm having them right now. But the reason Cookie's not here and the reason I had to go see him, and he said to go ahead and share this with everybody so it's not super personal info, but he is in the hospital right now. I went in this morning to be with him which didn't happen, but they were going to cut off his toe this morning. And it was a very simple thing. He had pulled a hangnail on his toe and it got infected. And as soon as he did, he even called my wife, who has EMT experience. She came and looked at it, and just within the first 8 hours of the day, it got like super bad to where it was hurting his leg. So he went in the night before last. He's been in for 2 days. Sounds like he'll probably be in for another 2 days. But the infection got into the bone. So this morning they were going to cut his toe off, and he's pre-diabetic, so it doesn't help very much with So but everything's worked out. Lots of good doctors, lots of good prayers, all that stuff, and he's been able to keep the toe. His leg is still pretty infected, but they're on top of it, and they're feeling pretty good about that. And it looks like he'll probably get out in the next couple of days and be healthier than he was last week. So that's
a bummer. I thought Roberto was going to have a bionic twin there.
Berto and Cheese names both got brought up a whole bunch. Like my parents were just beside themselves. They're like, Tim might lose a toe and stuff. And I'm talking to Tim, and Tim's like, it got to come off. It's got to come off. I got garden shears to do it. He was ready. He's like, if it's hurting me, and because we talked about Chi and Berto both of. You don't want to just try to hang on to that stuff if it's hurting you and dragging you down. Because I've watched especially diabetic people let that stuff just go to where it destroys them. St. Louis, same thing. He ended up losing his leg over similar things because it just sometimes that infection hits, it just goes.
Yep. But you got to stay on top of it. I mean, that's one of the things with my degenerative disc disease. I have because of compressing and doing a number on my spinal column. I've got some peripheral neuropathy, so I have to stay on top of that as well. Just to make sure nothing happens, and it's all thanks to no cartilage in my back.
Yeah, we're all getting that age.
Yeah. Now we've talked about our health. Let's talk about the weather.
The weather, and then politics after that, and we'll just zoom it right into religion. And
okay, perfect.
That's how I was thinking. And then at the end, of course, we're going to compare Ghostbusters and Star Trek, and just so that we're hating each other completely by the end of the day.
Oh, exactly.
Shit, I'm trying to look at my notes here, which I don't have a lot of.
Me either. I pulled a couple things, nothing much.
I thought this week was going to be a lot more free going. It did. We talked. You came over the other day and started new batches of pomegranate in the winery, and I was like, man, I'm going to be on top of stuff. And I've been watching. There's plenty of videos. They've released so much in the last week, so many trailers, so many things. And instead of me sitting here and trying to regurgitate, oh, well, here's what they're doing with this. Here's what they're doing with this. I spent Ash probably 5 or 6 trailers. We're going to check a couple out, talk about them. There's some I didn't send him.
Yeah, I noticed one you didn't send me, which was the Twisted Metal Season 2 trailer.
Oh, I have not. I didn't see that trailer even came out. But doing this, I haven't watched all the Twisted Metal Season 1.
I haven't watched any of it.
They do that, give you the first episode for free, and then all the others you got to pay for.
Well, it's on Prime Video, right?
I thought it was on Paramount on that one.
Let me check.
I might be wrong.
Oh, yeah, it's on Peacock. You're right. Something else was on Prime Video. I forget what it was.
Paramount was the other one, because I've been trying to catch up on Star Trek, like Lower Decks and stuff, and my wife didn't know I was watching it all, and she's like, we're not watching Paramount anymore, and canceled it, and I was watching about 5 shows. So I just got to go back.
If my login needs to magically appear over to you, let me know.
In hindsight, Christy even said there's some shows on there she wants to watch, so we're probably just going to pop it back up for a couple months.
I remember what it was that I saw that was going to be on Prime. It was what is it, the Bounty Man or whatever the hell it was?
With
Christian Slater?
No.
It was Footloose.
Yeah. I was going to say Animal House, Footloose. Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
God, we are getting old.
Yeah.
No, that actually looks pretty
6
good.
degrees of Kevin Bacon. God, he's like right there. He's number 1. He's 1 degree.
We're 2 degrees from Kevin Bacon.
You are.
I thought you were there too. No. No. This one we're doing the bar shows, so I thought you were there. So I keep hearing my voice in the background of your thing. It's driving me nuts.
You should have your echo cancellation should be on.
Let's see. No, I'm hearing it. That's all right. I can work through it.
Well, let me recycle my mic.
So
there.
As far as convention news goes, a lot of it we're sitting the same. I will say in the last 2 weeks, I've probably seen announcements for I think 15 new traveling megacons, which is a big deal. We were talking traveling megacons on here a couple weeks back because we had Kansas Comic-Con come through. A lot of the big stars lately are just going straight to the traveling megacons because they're guaranteed their guarantees.
Yeah,
it's a little easier. And as somebody that runs conventions and works them for a living and stuff, I'm a little worried, just because I know we've talked about doing that 100 times, but it is a lot. I mean, it is a lot of work and a lot of travel and a lot of money. I just don't know if that's work I'm interested in, but boy, I'd say almost every major city is getting 5 new traveling cons this year. It just seems like they're everywhere. And the problem is so many of them have the same guests. Because that same batch of guests we just had at Wichita Con, I'd say about half of those guests are in the rotation of almost all these traveling cons, Well,
we didn't really have a lot of guests there.
No, at the one here,
yeah.
Oh yeah, there are a lot of guests. For a city this size, there are a lot of guests.
I'm getting really the whole city this size because Wichita is actually ranked number 51 in the nation for population. So
Yep.
we're not quite in the top 50, but we're one off from the top 50.
Yeah, I thought we were actually right up at 50, one of the top 50 largest cities in the U.S. We're in the top 15.
We were back in 2020, but the most recent census has us at 51.
We're in the top 20 for food expansion and growth. I know that for restaurants and things like that.
Yeah, we and you think about it, man, we've had, Pizza Hut started here, Freddy's Frozen started here, White Castle started here. I was just going to get to that, but we can't have a White Castle. Thank you very much, Village Inn or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah, whatever the distributors I thought it was, but
yeah. Well, no, okay. A little bit of history. White Castle started here, and the two co-owners, all right, when the one guy said, hey, I want to go to another state, the owner here said, okay, you take the name White Castle, you go on, I think he went to like Chicago or something like that. You go on up there, all right, I'll keep Kansas, and I'll have King's X is what it was called.
Yeah, King's X.
King's X, and I'll have King's X, and you have go up to Chicago, and the White Castle took off. Harold and Kumar really kicked it in the ass. All right, and so now it's everywhere, and they do not come into Kansas because there's still that agreement with the parent company that owns the rights to King's X, even though we don't have a King's X anymore.
Right. I thought we still had one over there on.
No, it's changed names to like Village Inn or something like that.
Well, see, I'd heard similar stories, but the way I had heard it was the food distributors that supplied to White Castle, they had to change distributors, and in order to have their home location, it had to be close to that distributor, so they moved to Chicago, and the other partner stayed here. But I didn't know they had an agreement because once a year we get a White Castle truck that comes down and does a pop-up restaurant in Wichita.
Well, yeah, because they can.
And the story behind that pop-up restaurant is it's always to see if there's enough interest for them to open up a restaurant this far from the home base. Is what I thought, but I could be wrong on that.
Okay. I think my mouse is about to die. Might need to put new batteries in it.
Yeah.
Oh, Pawnee. That's the reason why. Okay, I need to be up here. Yeah, it's Jimmy's Diner now.
So, well, and I thought Jimmy's Diner and the one there on Harry Street were both owned by
that was Jimmy's
the Spears on there. I thought that was
I don't know.
Okay.
All I know is we can't have a White Castle here.
So jumping back to the point of where you say city this size, like that. The thing is I'm comparing it to the amount of guests that you can have and realistically sell enough autographs for to make those guarantees. And unfortunately, like that lineup we had would go better in a place like Kansas City or something like that. You can get away with that there. We just don't have enough here. And if you look even there at that convention, we had a number of celebrities that were sitting there with no one in their lines.
I know. I felt bad, but not bad enough to give them money.
Yeah. But that's kind of the point is I guarantee that not all of those, I can guarantee not all those guests made their guarantees. But
they made their guarantee, but that's because the con gave them their guarantee.
Via other conventions. Some of them for sure made their guarantee here in Wichita, but there are some that just didn't, but they'll make their money in the long run. That's how those cons work. But if it was a convention like ours or most of the people we work with, trying to run a convention with that many guests here, you would just lose money. I think one of the main problems is
once you get away from Wichita, the population density drops right the hell off.
Right.
All right. So, to get to the next major population center, you have to travel, 2.5, 3 hours to Kansas City or to Oklahoma City or to Tulsa to get to the next major population center. And what's in between is very sparse.
Well, see, and even like with the conventions we run, we've got people coming from England, we'll get people coming from the coast, but not as much as we used to, because what it used to be is if you had a good enough event with good enough guests, people will come in from all over for it. What's happened in about the last 4 or 5 years, we're getting a lot of the industry has grown so much, and those guests are they're hitting comic book stores, they're hitting every kind of convention, not just Comic Cons. They're hitting you'll see voice actors at wrestling conventions and shit sometimes. So and that's happened for enough years now that if I go, oh, hey, I got a convention here, I'd have to have something like a horror con that we'd have people like Bruce Campbell and shit that hasn't been here yet. But like even Anime Fest and stuff, we can't get, there aren't big enough actors left to put on the docket to get people to come in from more than about 3 states away, because all those people are hitting that con circuit everywhere. So if there's anybody you want to see, you can about go, oh, they'll be in my town here within a year or two and I'll get to see them. The things they're getting them are like where you get like all the original cast together at once or that kind of shit. Even that's happened so much.
Well, and a lot of these actors, they now know, I mean, that they will make far more getting those guaranteed minimums than they are netting from their residuals. So hell yeah, they're gonna make bank for as long as they can. I don't blame them. Get as much as you can.
How do you think Renee Zellweger is going to make her fucking money from now on? It's going to be signing those fucking Disney and stuff posters, because unless she comes back, actors like that, they got to take those big fucking one-hit wonders they got and hit conventions for the rest of their lives.
Or, the actors who unfortunately get typecast because of something that they were in was so monumental. Daniel Radcliffe. All right.
He's pulled out of that pretty good though, man.
Well, he has, but I'm talking about, all of those actors who grew up in the Harry Potter series, they're almost pretty much locked, except for Radcliffe and Emma Watson. They're pretty much locked in, is always being known as that. But you know what?
Living for the rest of their lives off of being just that. The residuals you'll get from those movies, being able to go to conventions and selling merch and signing merch. And
Elijah Woods.
Finn Wolfhard drives me nuts because I try to get stuff for Ghostbuster shit. And his, like all his autographs, his appearances through the fucking roof. A-list celebrity all the way. And I just want to go, man, you've been in like 6 things. It's driving me fucking nuts. I can't bring myself to pay for, just because he's a popular name right now.
Well, and that's one of the things too is, I see all the time people who have like really good, something that they really love merch. All right. And then they take it in and they pay to have it signed. And my whole, and nothing against them or anything like that. If you got the thing, get it. Like Sean, he took in his DeLorean to be signed. He took in his nice Tomy Enterprise.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'm really happy for him. Personally, if I had something that nice, I don't want nobody putting their damn dirty mitts on it and messing it up with their scribbles. Hell no. But I'm weird.
How practical the thing is. My problem with signatures, which I'll get back to the episode, of course, but my problem with signatures, I'm looking at one right now. Hang on, I'll grab it while I'm right here.
All right. Flash us.
This,
right.
Yeah, it's a flash one even. So this is what I do when I got something real cool I like. I'll have them sign some stuff because I don't know it'll be worth money, but if it's something I want, I'll like put "To Little Beard" or something like that. This thing is now worth less money with Sam Jones' signature on it because of that right there than it was before I had it signed. But to me, that's the whole reason I got it. Like I'll probably never get rid of that and half this other shit. My kids will have it one day and they'll come in with gold paint and paint over a little beard so they can sell the shit or something. But I tend to do that, and it's a dumb mistake. I know it is, but it's, to me, it like when we were young, going to conventions, you went and got shit signed, and it might cost $5 to get something signed. That picture was free. If it was a comic book artist, it was a free signature.
Yeah, so, he might even give you a free drawing.
Yeah.
Little doodle.
And then nowadays, it's everything. It's so monetized. I think I just grew up in the area where it's like, yeah, you just get shit signed, and now it's collectible. It's not.
We are pampered. It's kind of like after being in the WAG. I mean, I wasn't in the WAGs as long as as some others, but all the festivals I've been to, as a performer or doing something like that, just the concept of paying to get in just rankles. I mean, do you know who I am? Damn it. I'm a nobody, so let me in.
I never want. Every once in a while, I feel like I could use that line. Like, do you know who I am?
No.
In some places you can, but man, it's such a douche line.
Oh, it is.
because I've had it even at conventions I've owned where like security won't let me in because I didn't bring my badge, and I'm always
that's
like,
good.
They're
doing their damn job.
Unfortunately, sometimes when you do that, security will like then they're going to check your badge every fucking time now that they see you because they got praised, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a little cumbersome sometimes I'm doing that.
It is, but I would rather see it that way than the other way.
Yeah. I can't remember the point I was going to make with that, but we should get on to the episode and shit because like I say, it's been hardcore anime, and I'll talk more about that probably next week or two because I'm just trying to get so much stuff finalized. And maybe we'll do an episode. I'll get Randy or somebody on here, and we'll do an episode of just what it takes to set a whole fucking event up because it gets. I mean, I got events even I just help with that I'll help work on all day long, and you know, I just consult with, and it's still a year's worth of work, and I'm a nobody at those events. Some of those events. Max says maybe we should jump on the bandwagon and go on the road, do some of the same. I assume you're talking about the mega cons.
Spoken like somebody who doesn't have to put it together.
Well, if I were to do it at this point, because I know we were gearing that way. Like when we had Emerald City, we had cities calling us all over the country, wanting us to bring that event to there. I just don't know that that's what I want to do anymore. But as the WAGs, like if we wanted to put together a package, because we could do a package, it's just kind of like with some of the Ren fairs we do where like when we used to do all the Peterson's fairs all the time and stuff. So we'd go, they would send us to Kansas City and St. Louis. Maybe if St. Louis rained out, we'd hit Kansas City on the way home or something and hit those various fairs. We could easily do that with conventions as well. It's just it's a lot of commitment because then you have to be really available. And with a group of 5 guys, it's a little tougher, especially with us getting older and Cookie in the hospital and shit. And but yeah, I'd be all about it. Trying to do more shows like that.
Yeah, but now Cookie and Rich are a match set. No, not quite.
A match set what? From what?
They were both going to be a match set.
For being in the hospital or what I missed?
Yeah, for having almost the same issue.
Oh, yeah, because Rich was just in the hospital too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. They both got an infection. Dang it.
But let me see. A little bit I just have a couple things of geek news to throw out there that we can discuss really quickly. One is apparently the Star Wars Celebration 2025 show in Japan was filled with exciting announcements that include Star Wars Starfighter that will star Ryan Gosling and a new Darth Maul series as well.
Is that Star Wars Starfighter? Is that a live action or is that a video game? I've heard somebody say today that might be a video game.
That's a good question.
Because they did just release a new trailer for a new video game as well.
It sounds like it's going to be a movie, 2027. Is it animated? Live action.
Well, good. I could do that. I could see Ryan Gosling being in Star Wars.
Oh yeah, he's a great actor.
I didn't like him at first when like La La Land time. Fucking that chick actor, man.
But come on, he owned it as Ken.
Yeah. Oh, he did great as Ken.
Oh yeah.
All sorts of. Now I'm kind of a Ryan Gosling fan now, and I hate it because he's a pretty boy and all that shit.
I hate it as well, but he's a good guy, you know.
Yeah.
And not a goody two shoes guy. He's just a good guy. I mean, he's a younger Keanu Reeves.
The conversation actually got brought up a couple weeks ago about maybe him playing my favorite character, Longshot. And you would ask me that 2 years ago, I would have said no fucking way. Now I'm like, he could pull it off. He's a little old now, but he could pull it off.
Oh, speaking of that, we were talking right before we started about all the trailers and stuff like that,
right.
and you had mentioned that you did not send me the trailer for the new Wednesday.
No,
I told you that I watched it anyway because I watched it earlier today when I was just sitting on the couch, doom scrolling, and I'm afraid that I forget the actor's name who plays Wednesday, but I'm afraid
Jenna Ortega.
Yeah, Jenna Ortega. She's starting to look like she's not a high schooler.
I know. We were talking about this when Beetlejuice came out too, and I want to see it. She knocked it out of the park as Wednesday. I'm not going to say everybody else did. They fuckered up one of my favorite Addams Family characters, which is
Gomez or Uncle Fester.
I love Uncle Fester. I thought they did fine with him.
I thought they did good with Uncle Fester.
No, he was a non-existent.
He was a
other character. That's all he was.
He was a wet sock.
Yeah.
All right.
And it made me sad.
Yeah.
But the new trailer looked fine. And I hear Jenna Ortega's got a lot of pull in it, kind of like she did in the first series, which is good.
Well, that's good. I mean, she's got a lot of passion for the project. Yeah.
Now I hear she's kind of looking at veering away from it. Like she's already done with Wednesday. She's got other shit going on, but more power to her. The shit she's doing is good. Let me address that real quick. Catherine asked, any new beer tasting videos? No, I haven't had time. I have beer. I have a 12-pack of German beer sitting there. I got all these other beers Mac brought from the East Coast here, and stuff people have sent me, and he
has beers. He's been tasting them, just not on video.
Well, we've tried to do it on the road a couple times. Mac's on here because that was kind of deals. We're going to try to do it and share it on the WAG stuff and have all the WAGs compare. With just no time. And then when we're on the road, half the time you're in a hotel, you're not getting the signal you want, or other performers will come in and they all want to sit down and talk with you. Next thing you know, you got 20 performers in the lobby. It's like, no, we can't do a video now. And so it just hasn't happened. If I could get caught up, which I am slowly getting caught up. Ren Fair over with. I'm getting anime caught up. I've been so far behind on stuff. But I got a plan. It's all coming along. So we're going to start doing more videos, and Mac's actually putting together. He's got a lot of great ideas for the WAGs videos. So with his help, I might start getting some more stuff going.
We need to get him going doing the stuff for the ConCast.
Well, my problem with Mac.
You hear that, Mac?
Yeah, listen up, Mac. Mac's a workhorse, and he will gladly take shit on for sure. He's working 2 jobs right now, like 2 full-time jobs. So I hate going, hey, man, when you get done with your second job, I got some more shit to do on this part-time thing we're doing over here. So I'm not going to load him down to anything until he gets caught up, I get caught up, and we're all on the same page. He says I'm listening.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Now, there's a couple videos I didn't send you today. So some new trailers. I think everything I did send, even though some of them are final trailers for stuff we've already watched, but they're all new out this week. I'm trying to think of the ones I didn't. I didn't send the new 28 Years Later trailer.
Okay.
But I did. I've watched it. I'm very excited about it. It was a little long. I think the new one was like 4.5 minutes long or something like that. Little Beard caught up. Maybe when he has been dead for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. That could happen. Some of it, I let the off season. Normally the off season goes till about February, and I let it go till into March this year. Just because I was being lazy. Okay. I'm tired.
Yeah. We were all like that. So don't feel bad.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm just being honest with people too, as I'm trying to get caught up, because the problem is before I pushed too hard. We did too many shows. We're doing like tons of shows. I was helping with too many events, and the problem is what I could do is I could do decent quality and lots of little packages, and I would rather, because even like the podcast now, you look at what we used to do with the podcast compared to what we're doing now. And that's a lot is me. Daryl's doing almost everything with the podcast. I show up and I talk. So if I could get caught up on shit, then I could start doing more of that.
We are technically doing a literal phoning it in.
Yeah, literally from the house. and we've been talking for a couple months now about getting out to the borough and doing the live shows.
And the boroughs are the standard boroughs. They're sweethearts, and they're just like, whenever, just let us know. So we need to get off our asses.
and yeah, and a lot of that's just me getting caught up. So if we can get caught up, but hopefully within a week, I'm going to be having most of my panels ready for Anime Fest, and I say
not if you keep procrastinating like you did last night, young man.
Yeah, well, that's because some
that's my fault.
Up to my house and said, I'm going to make wine, and
Well, you can't really blame me. I just showed up and started doing it, and you popped out there. Hey, what's going on? Distract me.
I needed an excuse to not work online.
And you know what? I happily provided that excuse.
Sometimes you just got to disconnect. And luckily, like I got, bless their hearts, like I got some of the girls from the local dance troops that are helping me put together like an American Idol anime dance-off thing we're doing. And they've been so patient waiting. And I've been so busy. So like today, I finally sat down and we were able to exchange some info. And in a day or two, we'll probably have this whole thing put together. But man, it just answering emails sometimes is hard because you got to be in that mindset. And once you go, you're working on that project for the next 5 hours. Max says, whatever you don't watch the trailers for Popeye, whatever you do, don't watch a trailer for Popeye. The ones that Frankie sent in chat, it will ruin your childhood.
I'm going to have to watch because I loved the Robin Williams, Shelley Duvall Popeye.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Well,
and if it's not a musical, it's not Popeye.
Well, just recently, the Popeye went in public domain. I think it was January 1st. And so they had released Popeye the Slayer Man.
Which, rock on.
Yeah, they always go for a horror movie first.
Yeah.
And since that one's been released, I think there's 2 more Popeye movies they're getting ready to come out. One's a horror movie, and I can't remember the other one. Max says they are horror. So it's just a they look like the Blood and Honey, the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. If you remember that trailer, yeah, it looked like that. It had that same feel to it. But I don't know. I like cheesy horror movies and comedy horror movies, and then every once in a while, like the 28 Days Later ones, the really hard hitting.
I was 120% behind. It was back when YouTube was still young. I think it was 2009 or something like that. There came out a spoof trailer for Willy Wonka with Chris. Oh God, who's the guy who played Doc Brown from?
Damn it! Why am I doing that?
Not Christopher Walken.
Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, and he actually had a bit part in there. And I absolutely loved that trailer and was so disappointed that they were not coming out with that as an actual horror movie.
That was like a Funny or Die, I think, clip or something, wasn't it?
It could have been, yeah.
I think so. It was really not that I want to get into the Popeye discussion. Oh, God, it was 4 years ago or so.
Oh, but also this month, I think it's this month, on YouTube turns 20.
YouTube does?
Yeah, that's on their they have a little icon on it and stuff like that for YouTube. It's their 20th anniversary.
Guy, it's
I thought it was 2020. I thought it was 2007 that they came out, but apparently it was 2005.
It's our Anime Festival's 20th anniversary this year, and the Spring Ren Fair's 20th anniversary this year. Doesn't seem like I thought YouTube was out before we did either of those things, but I guess not. See, we did this shit and you couldn't look it up on YouTube and figure out how to do it.
Exactly. We are the makers of YouTube. We are the dreamers of dreams.
Yeah, now it's so easy. Just fucking look shit up on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Popeye, though, it was about 4 years ago, I think. They did an animated movie. And if you get a chance, go to YouTube, look up the Popeye animated. I've watched a number of clips, a number of the behind the scenes. It's an awesome fucking flick. And it got completely finished. And I can't remember, some kind of rights thing or something. And it never got released.
Oh.
But you can go and watch whole scenes on YouTube. Really good movie. Like, I would go to the theater and see this movie. It reminds me.
Today is the tube birthday, Catherine says.
Today is the tube birthday. Well, shit.
YouTube birthday, yeah.
Okay. They owe us one. We called them a shout out. If YouTube wants to stay in business, they need people like us.
Yeah. Generating barely watchable content. That's what they need.
Speaking of which, let's hit some of these trailers.
Oh, just one other thing I wanted to bring up in news really quick is apparently, Critical Role, it's a YouTube channel. Critical Role is expanding into publishing, and they'll be doing book publishing with a slate of books set for release this year, including children's books and novel-like deep dives into their D&D campaigns.
Say that last little part again. I didn't hear that last.
They're doing novel-style deep dives into their D&D campaigns.
Okay, yeah, then that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting because, they're one of the ones that when everything was going on with D&D they were leading the charge to screw it. We're going to come up with our own gaming system.
It seems like all the big YouTubers were doing that shit. Like everybody was coming up, but D&D's done a 180 and they're trying to make it work.
Yep.
Let's see. I think that's Becca up there said that's what I thought. I saw also Life. Yeah, it was Becca.
The first clip was a guy at the zoo. That was the very first thing uploaded to YouTube was, I guess, one of the creators of YouTube. He shot a video of him at the zoo. It's only like 20 seconds long, maybe, and uploaded it. And that's the first YouTube video.
Yeah, Kristen says YouTube was around, but it wasn't much. It was more like the whole Badger thing. See, I had I don't know. I watched so many comic things on YouTube back when it came out, and I was like, I should do this. I so wish I had, because almost all those people that knew jack and shit about comics and did that shit back then are some of the biggest streamers now.
Yeah. Matter of fact, just to celebrate it that a little bit, I will go ahead. I just loaded it up. It's a 15-second long video of the first guy and the first video. It's called "Me at the Zoo."
Okay.
All right, so here we are, one of the elephants. And the cool thing about these guys is that they have really, really, really long trunks, and that's cool.
He hesitated on the word trunks.
Yeah, I was surprised he said trunks. I was expecting him to say something else.
If that's the first video, how many views does that thing have?
356 million.
Holy shit.
19 years ago, San Diego Zoo.
Yeah, and that guy's getting ready for his 40th birthday now. That's great.
Yeah, he's still younger than us. Okay.
Well, I got two things I should bring up before we watch these videos too. Is I posted it on the ConCast page for those local in Wichita. The Wizards Alley just announced that they are going to be expanding to the front. I'm guessing it looks like twice the size.
More. Yeah, because I would say it's going to increase it probably by 2/3 just going off of how big I know Wizards Alley is and how much those buildings down there go back.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's probably going to more than double. It's going to probably 150% the size.
Yeah, I think that's cool. I like seeing stuff like that expand, especially.
I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
And they came out and tried out our mead the other weekend and said it was good. So we need to get that stuff into them.
Yeah, I know they were talking about selling it in their store. I want to see that happen. So the other question I'd ask you, and feel free not to answer, because I didn't get to ask you this yesterday when you stopped off for wine. So the whole blue sky, the women going into space thing that we had last week.
Blue Origin.
Sorry.
Yes.
It conquered my feed in ways I don't want it to, but I was going to ask your opinion on it, because it has, people are upset about it, and some of it I can see and some I can't. But
okay, it mirrored the same flight path that Alan Shepard's flight took. All right, in the Mercury capsule, and basically what they did is they went up and they went higher than the Kármán line, which is 100 kilometers up. All right, which is about 60 some odd miles up. And I think Neil deGrasse Tyson put it best. He said, at that height, all right, if you had a globe, the standard school size globe.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, but go ahead. Yep.
Yeah, and in order to have that height that they went above the Earth, if you put a dime on the globe, that's how high up they went, was the thickness of that dime.
Yeah.
And so really it was just a publicity stunt, just like when Shatner went up.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing is Blue Origin, they're doing these to drum up, significance. Because even though I am now anti-Elon, I'm still a SpaceX fan. And Blue Origin still has yet to do anything that has entered orbit. No orbit on anything on Blue Origin yet. And so I wouldn't really call them a rocket. I just call that a missile that came back.
See, and I think that's my thing. The three biggest things people keep throwing out there is one is they're only up there 10 minutes, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, that's all they were planned. I think everybody was expecting like they're going to go up there and like be in orbit or something. It's like, that's not what they said they were going to do.
No.
I don't know why people are upset about it.
And then they did that thing that they tried to do like for Captain Marvel when they said, ooh, she's the first female with the sci-fi franchise. No, she's not. And this is not the first all-female crew. The Russians had that in the 1960s.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. The Russians beat us up until the moon. The Russians beat us at everything in space until we just said, fuck it, and went right past them straight to the moon. And that's when they buckled.
That's the other half of the argument is I bet all those Russians were actual astronauts.
Oh, yeah.
People are pissed that they're calling these girls astronauts.
No, if you get above the Kármán line, 100 kilometers, you are technically an astronaut. That's all Alan Shepard did. That's all Yuri's night's coming up. Oh, Yuri's night that's already passed. It was on April 12th.
Yeah. I couldn't tell the exact date, but I knew it was around this time of year.
Yeah, that was Yuri's night, was April 12th. Matter of fact, coming up here soon is going to be International Towel Day for those who follow the Towel Day stuff.
Max saying we didn't land on the moon.
Yeah, we didn't land on the moon. Okay.
It's a fucking giant light, dude. I mean.
Well, yeah, they went there. Dude, where do you think we have all this abundance of cheese now?
It's
the moon mines.
I think it's one of those things where if they just define what astronaut is and put it out there to the public so everybody shut up, I would really like that because I'm tired of seeing it come across my feed.
Towel Day is May 25th.
Yeah. That sounds
okay.
Right.
But yeah, no, what it is to be an astronaut is you have to pass the Kármán, that 100 kilometers up. That's what it is.
I think the other side of that argument is like Gail King was talking about that they took Alan Shepard's route and stuff, and it's like, well, yeah. I get that. The way she was saying it almost made it's like, yeah, when you're the first person doing it and it's never been done or that kind of stuff in unproven areas. It's kind of like the Wright brothers. They made that little historic flight and that was a big deal. I can do it now. I could build a machine this week and do that now and not be concerned.
Yeah.
And nobody would go like, oh, you're a pioneer of aviation. So
that's like, what is it? Mercedes' wife. All right. Who did the first road trip in a car. All right. Oh God, she was amazing. Because Mercedes, he had built the first car. That was that 3-wheeler that you always see as the first car, with like a tiller steering in the front. And he had come up, anyways, never mind. I won't go into the whole carburetor that he invented, but anyway,
nerd.
So, but the thing is that she was the one with the money. She was the one that inherited money, and she was bankrolling everything. All right. And she had nothing but enthusiasm for her husband, but her husband definitely did not have the balls that she had. All right. And so he had invented this car, but he was always fiddling with it and never said it was done. So what she did is she's one weekend or something like that. He was out of town doing something, whatever. So she gets in it, gets their oldest boy in it with her. He was like in his late teens. And they did like a 20-some-odd mile trip in a vehicle that only goes 5 miles an hour. But she went all the way to another town, all right, and they spent the night. And it was such a big deal that by the time she made the trip back the next day or the day or so, there were people lining the road cheering her on to come back. She's the one that had the balls to do that journey. Her husband didn't.
No,
so
I'm gonna look her up now.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Kelly, or I wanted to mention Kelly too, because he asked about his dinosaur. I told him the other day, both of my printers went down.
Oh, yeah.
I had time to fix them. I did work on them today, tomorrow, that I'm sure they're going to be up and running. I do have this sitting right here. Your deal's starting to go to bed together. This is, if I put my hand here for the butt, this is about how big just one side of the dinosaur is.
It's got a thick old butt.
He got a thick old butt, and then he's going to be twice this thick, so he'll be that fucking thick. He's going to be a big boy.
Keep the grandkids off of it.
Yeah, I've got most of it all printed, and everything, the heads over here, it's starting to go together. I just have a couple pieces I want to redo, and a couple small pieces that need done yet. So, man, I could, if I didn't get distracted, I could have it done in a week. But we'll see.
Did that PID calibration work for you?
I haven't got it on yet. I got it on disc and everything, and now I got to put the disc in and actually run it. But I didn't have time to run it before the podcast, so I'll either do that tonight or tomorrow.
You're doing it on ScanDisk? I had to do it. I had to plug into the computer to do it.
I got to plug in too, but it had me download a deal to my card file.
Okay. Hey, maybe they improved it since last time.
Like I said, I watched a YouTube video and just found somebody that had the exact same printer I did, and I'm doing what he said. So that's what
you do.
You'll know tomorrow if I call you cussing, going, "What the fuck do I do now?" But
you plug in.
We've been just chatting. We still got a couple of videos to watch. We might not watch
already 50 fucking minutes in.
Yeah, I know. It's because we're just talking about bullshit.
All right, let's start off with. Okay, hold on. Oh, my mouse is dying. This is not good. Okay, it's first YouTube video. Let's start off with the Fantastic Four First Steps official trailer.
Okay.
All right.
A couple of these I haven't watched yet. I have seen this one.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and hit this one, and I'm going to go get a new battery for my mouse. Be right back.
Wow, folks, we all know the story. 4 brave astronauts head up into space and come back forever changed.
This car?
Our city, our planet, owe a debt to these intrepid souls. And while we can never repay them, we can certainly celebrate them.
Thank you, Fantastic Four. Thank you.
Thank you, Fantastic Four!
Please welcome the Fantastic Four.
Herbie, how's that sauce looking? Okay. That is fantastic.
You're late.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? You're late for dinner.
Yes, we are.
You late?
I just said that.
Are you pregnant?
What? You're gonna be the best mom in the world. And you are gonna be the best dad. Just kidding. You are out of your depth. We're gonna be the best uncles ever.
We can do this. Nothing's going to change.
Are you the protectors of this world?
Yes, we are.
Your planet is now marked for death.
It's my fault. I stretched the bounds of space. And they hurt.
Are we safe?
I don't know. There's not enough time.
I'm not giving up. We will face this together. We will fight it together. As a family. Has to be us.
We will protect you.
Those feet had Stay Puft vibes to them. But,
Well, here's my problem with that. I've been on the streets in New York.
Uh-huh.
If a creature is that tall, it's not going to be able to get between those buildings.
yeah. Yeah, I had the same problem with the Godzilla movie, man. His scale, the Matthew Broderick one, his scale changed so many times. In that
Oh,
movie.
it did. It did. I loved it. It was horrible. It was great.
Yeah, it was a horrible love, and I like that it's just kind of like a tagline Like it's become part of Godzilla legend and canon, but it's like, oh, that's the American one. It was the fake Godzilla.
Oh yeah.
Godzilla.
No, but this is the first trailer that I saw where they mentioned that she was pregnant.
Yeah, it's been out there for a little while that they're probably going to have Franklin Richards and the kids in there, because he's going to be part of Secret Wars and stuff eventually. But I like that they're showing that it's not just like we already have the kids, because it sounds like they're going to do, oh, here we're just going to kind of skim over the origin story because we've seen that in other movies already.
Yeah, we don't need to see Uncle Ben die again.
Right. Yeah, we're skipping over Batman's parents dying and Uncle Ben dying. We're just going straight to, we don't need to see Krypton blow up, all that bullshit.
Yeah.
So I'm cool with that. Although it's got major Incredibles vibes to it. Like the whole 1960s Fantastic Four.
Oh, it does. They're definitely going for that nostalgia.
Yeah.
Although I did wonder once she said that she was pregnant, my first thought was, well, if she can selectively choose her invisibility, that's going to make for a very easy OBGYN appointment when she's going in. They're going to check on the kid.
This is true. I didn't think of that. No, I like that they're showing Galactus. I got a feeling they're going to do that whole thing they do in a lot of movies where his scale will change.
But Galactus could change his scale.
What?
Galactus could change his scale.
He can. I think they're going to play that up a lot because people bitch so much in that Fantastic Four Silver Surfer movie how they did Galactus. I almost feel they're going to go the opposite way and go, no, look, we're showing him a lot. Look, he's here. He's everywhere,
Yeah.
Because they gave him the whole Jaws treatment in the other one, and it just sucked. The two things that came out with this trailer is some leaked script, which people are kind of complaining because they did go very female heavy, it sounds like. What I read on it, I'm kind of okay with it. Like giving Sue Storm more, I felt in the comics she didn't have enough credibility. And if she's going to lead the team, I'm fucking all about that.
I have no personal investment in the Fantastic Four, so I could care less.
Yeah. The other cool thing that did get leaked is they're showing that now 3 of the 5 people who played Mr. Fantastic have all been seen on set. So that means
all been who?
Seen on set of the movie.
Oh, okay.
So that means we're probably going to get, for those that read the comics, the Council of Reeds. But we're probably going to end up seeing everybody that's played Reed Richards before. I think it's the only one that's not confirmed, or the 2 that aren't confirmed, is the guy that played the 1990s version in the trauma movie they did that never got released, and then Miles Teller. He hasn't been confirmed yet. So
I'm done with the multiverse. To tell you the truth.
Yeah, I am a little too.
I am as done with the multiverse as I was done with the MCU.
Oh, well, see, I'm not there yet. The MCU, I'm still good with. The multiverse, if they're going to do it, they need to do it like the Excalibur comics did. The way they're doing it now, it's just like all holds out, or all
no holds
barred. Just fucking go for it. And at least it keeps us guessing on casting, because there's so many casting rumors like, oh, we're just going to recast this person and recast this person. And so it does keep you on the edge of your seat, but I'm getting a little, it's almost too much to follow.
RoboCop. Roberto says RoboCop, of course, because it's Roberto. RoboCop is so weak ass in this Marvel universe. He would be recycled within the first 5 minutes. He would be a joke that pops up. You are under arrest, crunch. And then that would be it for RoboCop. He is weak tea.
They're bringing out the new RoboCop movie. And
another new one?
Yeah, with why is my mind fucking, this is the guy who played RoboCop originally.
Him.
Peter Sellers. No, Peter.
I'll take Peter Sellers, even though he's...
Yeah, I'll take Peter Sellers in a heartbeat. Damn it. Oh, guy, he's such a good historian stuff, too. I can't remember now.
Roberto knows. Who is it, Roberto?
Roberto's got to know. They're 30 seconds behind us or something. And the rumor is what they're going for in the future is they're going to try to do and I don't know if this is true, but that they did in the comics, a Predator versus Aliens versus RoboCop movie. That's the game plan for the future. But they also had that same game plan with Ash versus Jason versus Freddy, and it came so close, but never happened. So,
and that is a shame because that would have been one for the history books.
Yeah. So, but no, I think the trailer is good for Fantastic Four. I'm very excited about it. I'm super nervous. I think, like everybody else, what they're doing with Marvel.
Peter Weller.
Thank you. I'm just sitting on the edge of my seat waiting them to fuck up Marvel Universe completely. But I do like that they put all the nostalgia in here because that's what James Gunn's doing with Superman. It is chock full of that shit we grew up with in the 70s and shit. I mean, it is chock full of nostalgia.
Well, we are the demographic with the money now.
Yep. Yeah. And I'm paying shit. So, yeah, appeal to me. I will take that ass kissing because before it was the better good, whatever, as long as we get those movies. Because when I was growing up, we just didn't get good comic book movies. Now I'm like, I'm paying a lot of fucking money. I'm putting a lot of time into watching videos. Do what the fuck I want. I'm tired of being right about this, damn it. So.
All right, next one is going to be Toxic Avenger.
Okay. This is
very with Peter Dinklage, which just makes it awesome.
It can. I'm still a Dinklage fan.
Yeah, I'm a Dinklage fan.
Are headaches keeping you down? Is stress making you
I thought this was a commercial.
old?
This is the trailer.
Hi. As you can see, I'm a doctor. Certified. I have a headache. I reach for the brand of medicine that works the best.
Buy toxamphetamine, hydroxychloroquine.
Came to us with those headaches, and we ran some tests. This is a very advanced case of. There is a drug treatment available for this. It's very new and wildly expensive, but your insurance will probably cover it.
My name is Winston Goose, and I've been working for you for 13 years. What can I do for you? I'm sick, sir. BT insurance won't help.
What is it you do for us?
Hygiene services. Mop shop. What? Mop shop. What?
We're gonna sort this out, my man.
Fire him again. Jesus Christ. Mop shop.
Okay. I got
that was good.
On that. First off, Katie says there was a Freddy versus Jason versus Ash comic. Yes, there was. It's very good. Even today, a friend of mine posted up where he had it signed by Bruce Campbell and fucking Kane Hodder. But then Berto says new RoboCop ignores R3 and is written by Frank Miller, which is, I didn't know it was written by Frank Miller. That's a big deal. Toxic Avenger.
Right. I like the Toxic Avenger. I think it's got that taste of Traumaville Productions about it, and that's what I like. It's not going to take itself seriously.
It's not going to be for everybody. It's made for people who grew up with watching some of those bad trauma movies.
This is the epitome of release straight to DVD. Back then, it was straight to VHS.
And they almost didn't release it at all. They shelved it. So we're lucky we're even getting this movie.
Yeah.
And it's going to suck. But
it's going to suck so good.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to suck like a $3 hooker.
I know a lot of people are pissed at Dinklage right now, but not only is he a good actor, he's got comedy chops, too. And I think we're going to see him in this. And I'm anxious for that.
All right. Next one we're going to do is going to be The Naked Gun with Liam Neeson.
Kelly's right. Second trailer does look better than the first trailer for Toxic Avenger for sure.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to The Naked Gun. And away we go.
Multiple SWAT units responding to hostage situation.
Hey, little girl, stop! What do you want, little one? Your ass.
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast. That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast.
Who are you?
Frank Drebin, Police Squad. The new version.
That's the sound of the police.
Hi, Daddy. It's me, Frank Jr. Love you. Hey, Dad. Boy, do I miss
Okay, that is beautiful.
I'm excited. I'm a big Police Squad fan, like a lot of people our age, watching Police Squad, Naked Gun. And when they said they were going to redo this, because, comedy, they don't make many comedies anymore. And we're always like, they'll never make another Airplane or shit like we grew up with. And then they said they were making this, and I'm like, oh, they're going to kill it.
I mean, I know it's got to be out there. It's got to be out there somewhere. Someone has had to have done a video where they go through Airplane and do like a counter for every pun. All right, because there has to be like 2 or 3 pun a minute that goes on in Airplane. It is just ridiculous,
and it's so quotable. Even now, it's like 40 years later, 50 years later, whatever the fuck it is, and we're still quoting that movie.
Oh yeah.
And they said Liam Neeson was going to be in this, and I was like, oh, he could do it. He's got a good comedy job, sure. And then I saw the trailer, and I'm like, oh, they got it. They don't need any input from me. I don't need to fucking.
They don't need my approval. No, I mean, I realized that Liam has the comedy chops when I saw him in A Million Ways to Die in the Old West.
Yep. Well, and this is with Seth MacFarlane again, because MacFarlane's a producer on this.
As long as he's not the director.
Yes. Yeah. I'll give you that.
Yeah, he does really great animated, and I loved the Orville.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but when it comes to his live action movies, he doesn't hit very well on those.
Kelly says Kentucky Fried movie will never be remade. It was a great movie.
Now, the last one that I saw that they tried to make was, what was it? Like
movie 43?
Movie 42 or something like that?
Yeah. I enjoyed that, and it is raked across the coals horribly. But like
it is
them catching the leprechaun and keeping them in the basement, and the leprechaun kicking their ass, that was hilarious. I'm sorry.
The balls on chin. I mean, that was great.
There was some good bits. It was gross and distasteful, but that's how those movies are made. Berto says Airplane's being remade by the team that did all the scary movies.
Past 3? No. Scary Movie Past number 3 sucked. Scary Movie 1 and 2 are the good ones.
They did put Liam Neeson, fucking the original Frank Drebin.
Leslie Nielsen?
Leslie Nielsen. He was in a couple of those Scary Movies Past 3, but
he was, but
that was more like a tribute kind of thing. I
thought
shit.
I thought, for the longest time, I thought Leslie Nielsen could turn any turd into gold.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched Mr. Magoo.
Yeah. Mr. Magoo was the one who did it for me, too. I was like, oh.
That's the one, literally, I went and saw it with Zach, and he had to wake me up halfway through it so we could leave.
Yeah.
All right? Because I fell asleep in that movie. It was so bad.
Mr. Magoo, he was okay in Dracula Dead and loving it.
That one was where it started to go downhill, but the bottom for me is what?
Spy Hard, if you watch that one.
Spy Hard.
Yeah, another one of those parody movies. I'm pretty sure it was Spy Hard. Where
I remember Hot Shots.
Huh? Yeah, Hot Shots was good.
Hot Shots and Hot Shots Part 2 were good.
This was
that was Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, this had Leslie Nielsen in it, and it was him playing the same Frank Drebin kind of character without being Frank Drebin.
Spy Hard.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's called Spy Hard.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking Spies Like Us, and I'm like, no, that wasn't it.
It was almost like they were trying to be Johnny English more than they were trying to be Naked Gun. But they didn't pull it off. They figured they could throw him in it and it would be good, and they let the whole thing ride on him.
Well, truthfully, Mac, you got to watch the first one. You got to watch the first Scary Movie. Mac says, I've never watched any of the Scary Movies, no interest. You got to watch the first one. The one that made Anna Faris who she is this day. You got to watch the first one.
And I liked the second one, too. The second one was
good.
It very much a parody of House on Haunted Hill, but it's stupid comedy. But that's when the Wayans brothers still had it. And the Wayans brothers did parody right, or good enough. They didn't quite pull Mel Brooks parody, but they did good.
No, they did very good. I mean, they weren't the great Mel Brooks, but yeah, even Mel Brooks had his low ones. I mean,
Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Didn't love it.
Boy, I'm still nervous about Spaceballs 2. I'm very fucking nervous about it, but
I'm going to treat it the way I treated crap. Okay, Ben Stiller, Janine Garofalo. Where's our brains going, man?
Mystery Men.
Yeah, Mystery Men. God, this is what happens when you've been sick for days. You can't think of crap. Mystery Men. Mystery Men. I heard so much bad stuff about that going into it that I just went into it thinking this is going to be a horrible movie. I'm just going to enjoy it for being a bad movie, and it pleasantly surprised me. And so I'm going to hope we get that with the new airplane and stuff, or the new Spaceballs.
See, and I loved Mystery Men, but we weren't getting as many comic books movies back then. So if you got anything that did decent job making a comic book movie, you're like, yes, please, more. But
well, and see, I hope that when they do Spaceballs 2, you know, maybe they'll stick to the whole thing and they'll have that as the prequel. All right, and they'll make fun of the prequels and they'll have it set up for Spaceball 3s, which will be the sequels, and they'll make fun of that.
That could be.
That's what I hope for.
Because I know they talked about that before when the prequels came out.
Mystery Men? Shut up, Roberto. You know Mystery Men. Don't even say that.
Well, they're 30 seconds behind us, but Berto says Spy Hard was a mixed bag. Kristen, I think what she said there is accurate. They did good comedy for the era it was made in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'd have a hard time recommending anybody that hasn't seen Kentucky Fried Movie to go watch it.
Come on, Catholic Girls in Trouble? Fistful of Yen?
One of my favorites was the medical commercial they did about death. Like you may start, if you're experiencing death, you may experience side effects, rigor mortis and all that. And it's just getting a cold. Perhaps you should try, you know.
What was that? Was it Kentucky Fried Movie where they had like the extreme sports thing and they had the little white guy that goes down to the tracks in the hood and he's got on his, you know, Super Dave Osborne outfit, you know, stunt guy outfit. And he yells the N-word around a bunch of guys playing craps and then runs off because that was the whole thing. He had to survive. It was just a quick thing.
That might have been Amazon Women on the Moon. Too.
No, I don't think that was Amazon. I think that was
confused a lot.
I think that was Kentucky Fried Movie.
Okay.
I think it was because Kentucky Fried Movie went a lot harder than Amazon Women on the Moon did.
You know, when we at some point when we get Cookie and some other people on here, we need to go through and just talk parody movies for a whole fucking episode. I think listing the best parody movies, what's wrong with parody movies. I know we're 14 minutes over. Did we have any of those others? We
got Predator and Thunderbolts.
Let's skip Thunderbolts because that's all over the place. And I haven't watched the Predator one yet.
So I have not either. I just loaded it up.
We can give a genuine reaction from not knowing what's going on with it.
Come on, share. And
I didn't think you survived.
all right, Director of Prey.
You're hunting something that can't be killed.
I don't know enough about it to comment on it because I don't know.
I'm always afraid of movies that have stepped away from the core of what the movie. Predator has always been, just like Alien has always been, go Team Human.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like on that one, we're now supposed to be going Team Predator?
Maybe.
I didn't watch Prey.
I watched part of Prey. I didn't get to finish it, but it was good. But I watched.
Well, I heard great things about it.
I don't know enough about this to really comment on it. Just as a basic fan of it, I think my concern is not enough practical effects. It looks CGI heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And
it looks very Star Wars CGI heavy.
I think that's one of the problems some of these movies get into, like that last Predator movie they had. Not enough practical effects in that too, and that was on Earth. I mean, they could have easily. And I get budget and stuff, but when everything starts looking like, oh, it's like it's Avatar, like there's just shit everywhere and it's all alien, it pulls you out a little bit because it seems a little fake.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the practical effects, like the original Alien had and the original Predator,
the
RoboCop, even. I mean, I'll throw that up as it was an actual movie, just to fuck with Berto. Kelly says mixed feelings about that one. Berto says Badlands is my favorite Predator comic. How did I not know that? I knew it was a comic. I want to say it came out like 20 years ago, if it's the comic I'm thinking of.
Yeah, we're all getting old.
Yeah. I mean, it's just there's so much Predator material out there.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever get to read the original storyline for Dutch, Schwarzenegger's character from the first movie, because they continued his story, and he was supposed to be in the Predators movie. The one
I thought you said Dutch, and my mind went to the movie Dutch with the guy who played Married with Children, Al Bundy.
Yeah. See, and even when I think Dutch, I think Red Dead Redemption. Then, so his story continued on. Like he became this Predator slayer for the military and all sorts of shit. He had a big long story in the books. It was, if they would have made movies out of it, would have been fucking awesome. But instead they keep going, well, we're going to reinvent.
Yeah.
And not that Schwarzenegger would carry it. You don't need him. He can be a cameo character. But I think you need some reoccurring stuff, because every time you just go, now here's a whole new batch of characters, it feels like a random anthology episode where they're just like, Black Mirror, here's some technology horror shit. Now here's some other technology horror shit in a totally different world or reality. Now here's another one. So every time I watch some of these Predator movies or even Alien movies, I feel like the aliens do better about staying in their canon world, but Predator just seems a little all over the place. I don't know. But
well, it's kind of got to be, because we were already complaining about Jenna Ortega aging out of the Wednesday part. So, I mean, if you wheeled out Arnold Schwarzenegger and tried to make me believe that he could still take on Predator, I don't think so.
And it wouldn't even have to be Schwarzenegger taking on Predator, but just like references even to past movies a little bit more, tie it together a little bit more, I know it might involve some retconning, which can be a mixed bag, but just a little something. Let's see, Katie. I don't know if I want to see the new Evil Dead movie coming out next year after what they did with the reboot and Rise. I'm sorry.
I would stick with the original movies as with Ash.
I get there too. That last Evil Dead movie, Gabe took me to the theater opening night because he knew I wanted to see it so bad. And I was a good boy.
He's a good boy.
Yeah, even after, because after the reboot, and then you got Ash doing the groovy thing right at the end, because they were planning on Ash, and I can't remember her name from the reboot, that they were going to be continuing the movies, and then they got the green light for Ash versus Evil Dead.
Show. Yeah.
So that changed everything. So then it's almost like they're just pumping out movies to keep the property alive.
Kind of like Spider-Man with Sony?
A little bit. A little bit. And then, Bruce Campbell's retired twice now from Ash. So.
And I don't blame him.
I don't blame him at all.
Yeah.
especially after doing 3 seasons on Stars, and then people just weren't supporting it the way it needed supported to keep it going.
But this goes back to us, what we're always been harping about, that they're just beating the dead horses.
Yes.
And that's what we were talking about last night when we were doing the wine stuff, and I had mentioned that I had finished all of Star Trek Lower Decks, which was excellent. They tied it up beautifully. But one of the characters was in there complaining about all the multiverse universe hopping and how, that in with the Star Trek thing, that they were supposed to boldly go and explore, but when they're just universe hopping, they're just sitting there going over the same stuff over and over with just a little tweak here, a little tweak there. They're not exploring. They're not finding strange new things. It's just the same crap over and over. And I was like, why is a cartoon saying what I want to hear?
Well, that's the thing with all these properties. You got to have a little nostalgia to keep the property going, but then you got to have new stuff. And it's a little off the track, but like Muppet Mayhem, that's how I felt with it. They kept a lot of that original stuff, but now we're following Dr. Teeth and stuff. They made it a little bit more adult. Awesome. Nobody, like, it went nowhere. 1 season done, got us no new Muppet shit. But I felt at least they did it right. I don't know. I could sit here and talk about how some of these series need to just die and stop, but then when are they making
there's certain things that they don't need to remake. All right. Like, they did not need to remake Rocky Horror. All right. Yeah. There's certain things that are perfection that you should not touch. If anybody even starts making noise like they're going to remake The Princess Bride, I'm pretty sure that there will be people firebombing that studio to make sure it won't be made.
I know we've talked about this on here before. The only way I would accept another Princess Bride is a Muppet version of The Princess Bride as a tribute.
Yes.
That would be great. That would make money. People would love it.
Kermit telling the story to Scooter when he's in bed sick, something like that. Mix it up somehow.
Wesley, though, he'd have to be Wesley.
He would have to be, because Miss Piggy's going to be, Princess Buttercup,
and the kid would be like Rizzo or Pepe or something, or but Sweetums would be
Fezzik.
Andre. Yeah. There's so much. Like, I feel like we could just make this now. Let's just make it.
Let me see. Would you go with Gonzo for
Fassini?
Fassini, the Sicilian?
Yeah. That's one I could see. I could see him making some original puppets.
And I'm sorry, but with the accent, would you want Pepe to be Indigo Montoya?
Fuck.
He's so small. So no, because I don't want him bouncing around like some Muppet version. Well, Muppet version of Yoda. Yoda is a Muppet. I don't want him bouncing around like Yoda did in the Star Wars movies.
Real quick, Berto just asked, ever watched the Rocky Horror sequel? It happened.
I know it happened, and it should not have.
I own VHS copies and DVD copies, and I'm one of the few people that know all the audience participation for Shock Treatment. I could sit and have that subject and that conversation for a whole nother hour. But yeah, they recast Brad and Janet in that one. They recast a couple people, but it still had Patricia Quinn, Richard O'Brien, and all that in it.
But no, it's so who would play the part of Prince Humperdinck?
I feel like I should go. Oh, do I have it here? Oh, I got a Muppet encyclopedia that's got every Muppet that was made.
Would it be Sam?
No, Sam's a little too.
Yeah, a little too stick in the ass.
A little too stick in the ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see him being the. This key guy.
Oh yes. Yeah, the gatekeeper.
God, no! I'm gonna make a list now, and next week we're gonna go
damn straight
Princess Bride list, because I bet somebody on YouTube has already done like a fan casting for Muppets Princess Bride or something.
And now with the AI, we could make a trailer for it.
Oh fuck! Yeah, let's do it.
I'll have to figure out how to do video.
We'll do that in the middle of all this other shit we're bitching.
Yeah, because we've got free time.
Oh, that's the last thing I should mention because it's almost 8:30 and we got to get off here. But
yeah,
I haven't told you yet because we had booking issues that almost fell through this year. TsunamiCon moved their dates to
yeah, we talked about that till October.
I don't have my it's right here. I had announced TsunamiCon and we were going to be doing some extra stuff with TsunamiCon this year. And then at the Ren Fair, Mikey Mason, who normally does that show, did say, hey, they did move the dates to October. And coincidentally, they moved it right on top of a new Ren Fair in Arkansas we were doing.
Right. You would mention that.
And
that it might happen.
I was just about ready to cancel, say we can't do TsunamiCon. And this Ren Fair got a hold of me and said they were going to set everything up so that we could come in and run the smoker and everything next year and kind of come in with a big bang. So
you're not doing it this year?
This year we will be at TsunamiCon doing TsunamiCon.
All right.
And get with Eric and make sure next year we're not falling on the same weekends.
Okay.
But so we are going to be doing TsunamiCon, and so we're going to start. I already talked with Cookie. We got some good ideas of new things to do. So
Mac, what you need to do on the Scallywags page is you need to keep a live calendar going of dates that they're booked out for. John with TsunamiCon or whatever. And that way, when other festivals are looking to get you guys there, they can look to see if when they're doing their festival, you guys are already booked out.
Kristen says, but who are the live actors? And she put 26, 20 through 28 because she'll be at TsunamiCon.
Who are the live actors for Princess Bride?
I'm going to assume Princess Bride because Muppets do have a lot of good cameo live actors, and that's part of the good thing about Muppet movies.
Well, and here's the thing. We could go live actors for Wesley and for the princess. And then because I think that Miss Piggy would play the wife of Miracle Max so well.
See, I was just saying, bring Billy Crystal back, and I can't remember her name, but to play Max.
Carol Kane.
Carol Kane, yes. Just let them play their parts again. Just again.
Yeah, this time they don't need makeup.
Yeah. Well, apparently last time they didn't need much of a script either. It sounds like so much that was just ad-libbed.
It was so much so that several of the scenes of Wesley laying on the table, they had to substitute in a fake body on the table because he couldn't, play dead because he was laughing too hard.
Yeah, I've seen a couple behind the scenes with Billy Crystal on that, and it's like, and somebody like that, you just kind of let them go. And I don't know, you'd have to have like Carl Reiner making a cameo in it. You'd have to have a couple people associated.
Yeah, just a couple.
But I think you could do it with cameos. I don't know, you'd have to have a live action person all the way through. But if you did, it could be like the kid in bed, or you have Fred Savage reading the story to a kid.
Fred Savage is not grandpa age. But Mandy Patinkin playing the grandfather.
Yeah, I could see that. He's got definitely that grandpa look to him.
Yeah, and he's a fucking brilliant actor.
He is. I hear he's hard to work with. I've heard bad stories about people on set with him. He's hard to work with.
I have not.
Yeah, and it saddens me, but when I watch him in interviews and stuff, I'm like, I could sit down and have a beer with that guy and just talk.
From what I've seen from him, you wouldn't have a beer. You would have like a apricot spritzer or something, non-alcoholic, healthy. Yeah. But that's okay. I would forego meat for an interview with him.
Yeah. No, I'm going to think about that though. Next week, we'll talk a little bit about that.
All right.
Maybe next week's the week we just call Mikey and have him on, because then if we're talking Muppets, he's a good one to have on for Muppets.
Well, we got this whole program so we could have guests on. We should have some damn guests on.
We should have some damn guests. So I'll call this week and see if maybe we can get Mikey or somebody on. I was planning on getting him on right before Ren Fair, and then the week before Ren Fair, it's like, I don't even have time to do a podcast.
I wasn't there. Yeah. Remember?
For the week before Ren Fair?
Week before Ren Fair, I was in Chicago.
Yeah. And that's why I was happy to hear that, because I was busy. Berto says, if John Shepard doesn't make a cameo, I'd be pissed.
He was extra number 38.
I was going to say John Shepard. I don't know who that is. God, yeah, no, I think somebody needs to do that. But AI trailer, we'll get some prompts going. As I look at you because you know more about the AI shit. But,
you know what I'll do is I'll ask AI how to do it.
How to do it. Fair enough. All right. Let's keep going so I can get back to work too. So
same here.
Some rest so you can go to work tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, yeah, rub it in.
Sorry.
No worries.
Thanks for
Bye.
chatting and all that. We'll see you next week.